There we go. And there we have it. Well, I won't be working on the A for a bit. Still got to figure out piston rings for that. But I've got a different project now. And there's a story to it. But yeah, I'm going to be working on this every once in a while. Doing a couple of things here and there. But I figure I'll just go ahead and show it to you guys. It's a 1970 Nova. So this is TJ's Nova. TJ's the guy, if you don't know, who's doing the body work and the paint for the Corvette. And this is his Nova. His dream car has always been a Nova. And he's had this car for, I think, a little over a year or two now. And he bought it with the purpose of rebuilding it, of course. But unfortunately, he has way too many cars. And he tends to pick a project and work on it for a while. This car needed a lot of work. He's currently working on a Camaro. But this thing was sitting outside and it was breaking his heart, and he was thinking about selling it, which he didn't really want to do. And so I offered him a bit of space in the garage, and I also told him I'll work on it for him, try to help him get it back on the road. I mean, he's going to be doing the body work and a lot of that stuff, but he says he doesn't care how far I put this car together. So, it's got the SS grill on it, but it's not a true SS. But, no, it's a nice little project car, that's for sure. You know, it's missing that. I need to figure out how to make some room in this garage, but kind of need to do a once over of this car, kind of get an idea of what all it needs. I mean, there's the basics, like, you know, an engine and a transmission, because it doesn't currently have one. And TJ's already done a lot of work to it. I don't know, you can really see the brakes in there, but he's got tubular control arms on it, and I think he said it's currently set up for a big block. So yeah, that's probably what we're going to be working with here. I think that door might latch. I'm not sure. I know this one doesn't. But I really need to figure out how to get this thing in the garage to a way that it'll be easier to work on, because I got that green project, I got that green project, now I've got this. It won't be green. Well, it's funny that I say that, because it's kind of a bluish green color that he's going with for this car. But yeah, I don't know. This garage wasn't built for this many projects, that's for sure. But like I said, for the A, I just need piston rings and gaskets, and I can rebuild this thing. I soaked the carb in some evaporust stuff or whatever, and it actually came out pretty good. But I think I'm just going to put this thing off, because I got other priorities right now. One of my priorities is I need to get this car a hard top, because I need to be able to drive this Corvette when it rains, which also means I need to figure out the wiper situation. But that's a bigger priority than a little tractor just to have fun with. But yeah, I need to figure out the best way to get some room in this garage to work on this car. This car, I don't know, I feel like it's a little bit bigger than I was expecting it to be. Okay, so here's the idea. Basically, I'm gonna have this car in here the way I actually used to have the Corvette in here when I was first working on it. When we first brought that car home, the car sat here, and then we pushed it nose first over here, and it sat over here for a couple of years, and I was working on it over here. So I'm gonna kind of twist the Nova this way. It really sucks because I only got 2 go jacks. So basically it's a swap back and forth. It's not fun. But that way I should have enough room to work on either side of it, and should still be able to get into the boot of the car, which there's a lot of parts in here. In fact, I think TJ gave me all of his parts, and they're all in here and in the trunk. So yeah, that's what I'm going to work on doing. Getting that, the front, and then just spinning this whole thing around. So this car is probably the easiest thing in the world I've ever had to move in this garage. And that includes the Beetle, which doesn't make any sense because the Beetle weighed like a full-on 1,000 pounds less than this thing. But I mean, it just, she rolls. I mean, she really just moves, like, you know? So that's pretty nice. That is pretty nice. I mean, I don't know, what, 16 years of working on that car in this garage and moving it around has never been as easy as this Nova. That's it's pretty interesting, but it makes sense. I mean, these things only weigh like 2,700 pounds, which is why, once we're done with it, it's going to be a serious threat, probably for that Corvette. Yep, unfortunately. But now that I've got it moved around, I can actually start working on the car. I can actually get around it now. So that's nice. I have to clean up this side a little bit. I think one of the things I want to do is I want to get all the parts out of it, because I want to take inventory of what TJ has for the car, also take in the condition of that stuff, kind of get an idea of what needs to be replaced with the parts that he has. I know he's got some brand new parts. And then going through the car myself, I'm sure I'm going to find some stuff. It's probably going to need new wiring. I think that's the original wiring harness down there. So for anyone who does not know, your wiring harness in your car, at least these older ones anyway, had a service life of 20 years. And after that 20-year service life, it's supposed to get replaced. Same thing for that Corvette. That's why that Corvette has a brand new wiring harness in it. Same thing for this. You know, it's definitely been in service for 20 years, or possibly. Not only that, another interesting thing is these wires, back then they were coated, the sheathing for the wires was actually made with peanut oil. And so that's why mice like to eat wiring. So not only do you have the 20-year service life, you also have the fact that there's probably been mice in there who's chewed up the wiring, and it's not bad to wire a car. I've wired several Corvettes, and they suck to wire. C3s especially. But wiring a car is not that bad, so it's worth it, because then you don't have to worry about, you know, the whole thing going up in flames. So yeah, I think I'll figure out what I'm going to do with his parts, find a way to store them so they're not in the car, so it's easy to work on. And once I do that, then maybe we could take a deeper dive into this Nova. All right, well, I figured I may as well show you guys what's in here. You're gonna have to excuse the lighting. Now, let's see. And there we go. And there we have it. See, we got some parts in here. We have some headers. I believe those are his big block headers. I think he said he had big block headers for it. I know at one point he was thinking about putting an LS in this thing. Right here is probably some new trim parts, which, you know, a lot of that stuff will have to go on after paint. You got some your interior stuff. I see looks to be your heater core fan box, your hood hinges, some trim in here. Looks like some seals. Oh, yeah. To get all this stuff out, there's a screwdriver in here. And all that stuff out. And then in here, there's just the bench seats, which I just have to say this. I love bench seats. I absolutely love them. All right. Well, I guess we can work on cleaning this car out. Well, I ended up cleaning off my old workbench. Well, mostly. I don't really have a spot for that stuff's just junk. But should be a big enough area to hold a lot of the bigger pieces. Maybe some of the smaller stuff I'll put elsewhere. But I'm going to go ahead and unpack this car and put everything up here, and I'll be inspecting all the parts while doing it. Okay, well, not kind of like the present. I guess I'll dig in here. I really need to do something about the lighting in this garage. It is just so horrible. Okay. And this, which I believe that's what goes here, maybe? I don't know. Looks like it. It doesn't look like the grill. So we got that. That looks like it's in really good shape too. So, like I said, I'm going to be trying to look and see at the condition, what can be saved, what needs to get rebuilt, what needs to be, sandblasted and painted, for example, stuff like that. Just kind of get a good idea of everything, and kind of just go from there. A whole bunch of stuff like tail lights, brand new. Know too much about these old Novas. I know TJ knows quite a bit, but if you guys know anything about them, go ahead and comment that down below. I really like this car. I told TJ I'm starting to fall in love with it. I see why he likes it so much. But yeah, if you know anything about these cars, go ahead and comment that down below and tell me anything you know about them. I'm curious to learn a little bit more. So you couldn't tell by the trunk. Here's another piece that I kind of show you. That's kind of the original color of the car. It was that that kind of a goldish color Nova, and then what we're going to be painting it is kind of a bluish green color. I forget what the name of the color's called, but I'll have a picture of it so you guys can see what color TJ's going for. And there we go. You said cleaned out. A little bit of trash here, something up there. The old wiring. This car is in incredible shape. If you guys know anything about these cars, you know, anything pretty much at this point. This is stupid, okay. Anything with a metal. This is usually all rotted out back here, but this wing's actually in a really decent shape. All right, well now I think I need to go ahead and undo this latch and get in here and pull all this out and get a look in here finally. Well, I got all the interior out, and unfortunately, I don't see another door card. This car smells like an abandoned swimming pool. And that's because of that over there. So, the reason this car's here, like I said, is because he didn't have a place to store it, and it was just sitting outside. He's been focusing on his Camaro, and he was thinking about selling it, but he doesn't want to actually sell it. He only wanted to sell it because he didn't like seeing it sit outside. So that's why it ended up here. Yeah, that's why it kind of looks and smells the way it does. I mean, the sound deadening looks kind of horrible now because of the water, but there's still some stuff in here to take out, some trash. Looks like he left some of his tools and stuff in here, which is fine. He'll get them back. But looking at the dash, it says 7319. I can't remember if he said those are original miles or not. But yeah, I'll say this car is a little rough, but she's got good bones. It's something I can absolutely work with. I just need a powertrain. But we'll get this thing up and running in no time. Well, I don't have a windshield to write on, and all I got are paint markers. So, this little piece of steel, which might coincidentally become a part of this car at some point. This will just have to be my whiteboard. So I'm going to write down basically everything that I need to work on this car. I haven't finished cleaning it out. I just kind of want to do this, get a good idea of what I'm in for the project. I know TJ is going to be doing the body work, so I'm not worried about that. And the body on the car is actually surprisingly decent. There's a little bit of rot, but like I said, either this piece or some other piece of metal. But I'm going to go ahead and write down everything that I've figured out I need to work on this car. So the first thing I need is, of course, wiring. I don't know if you can see that or not, but wiring is obviously the first thing I'm going to need. The whole car, it shouldn't be too bad price-wise to get wiring for one of these. It's not like the Corvette where, you know, it's all something stupid. But yeah, so wiring's going to be probably the first thing I tackle. Then we also need a brake master. This thing's not writing as well as I hoped it would. That just looks like, you know, I'm writing to the cops after I just committed a murder. We'll see if this marker works better, but brake master. I also need brake lines. I need a fuel tank. And of course, fuel lines as well. And I'll just fuel tank and lines. So I believe he doesn't have the column shift, so I believe we're going with a manual transmission. We're going to have to figure out the drivetrain for the car, obviously. I think he's still going to go with the big block. I'm not sure. As far as his transmission, I know he wants a manual, so I'm going to hopefully convince him into definitely going with the manual. So those are going to be some of the things I'm going to need to do, of course. So I think, yeah, we'll just put engine, transmission, it's going to need a drive shaft. Oh yeah, it's going to need everything for the clutch too. So clutch. We'll need clutch. Pedal assembly as well. The interior stuff, like I said, he's missing one door card. I don't know if he has it somewhere, but yeah, we will need to do interior. It needs a new dash. Carpet. I think the seats are pretty rough. I don't know. I don't know what he's planning on doing. The front seat is torn up, so he's probably going to be doing some different seats, and I don't know. We'll see. I hope he keeps the bench seats, but seats. I have no idea if you guys can see it. I hope so. But seats. Yeah. This one's a biggie. Wheels. Nobody likes the wheels he currently has on this car. It just kind of looks horrible right now. Definitely need glass. Definitely need a headliner too, but I'm not sure if I really want to write that down right now. But yeah, it's got a couple of things it needs. All the parts that he has, it's mostly just, you know, like the stainless trim, a couple of hood hinges. He has like almost 2 cars worth of stuff. He's got the wiper blades, so unfortunately that's nothing that's really going to help me out right now. Like I said, I think the first thing I need to focus on is probably wiring up the car, because it's a lot easier to do all that and then worry about everything else. So that's probably what I'm going to be focusing on, is going to be ending up just wiring the car. Then I'm going to probably work on the brakes, then the fuel, and then by that point we should be able to figure out engine, transmission, and everything else. But that's pretty much going to be the plan for right now. So I know parts he needs to order, but I'm not going to start writing down individual parts right now, because that's not what I'm planning on doing for right now. So like for example, this hood, I think that's one of the first parts I have him order is hood hinges. Get these fixed so we can get those doors functioning properly. But yeah, I'm gonna look into wiring harnesses for this car, and probably some wiring diagrams, probably talk with TJ, see about what all we're going to be doing. See, one of the beautiful things about knowing how to wire a car is I can wire this however he wants. For example, if he wants to wire it up to where instead of going with a big bucket, go with an LS, I can do that. You know, if he wants to put LEDs in, I can do that. You know, for like the headlights, taillights, you know, for the flashers as well, LED flashers. So yeah, I mean, just stuff like that, radios, you know, custom sound systems, other things like anti-theft devices, and, you know, just other stuff like that. That's one of the beautiful things that you can do when you learn how to wire a car. So I'll be talking with him, figuring out exactly how he wants the car, and then looking into ordering a wire harness, and that will probably be the next video on this car, is starting the wiring. But for right now, that's pretty much going to do it for this video. If you guys want to see more on this Nova, hit that subscribe button and stick around, because I'm falling in love with this car, and I can't wait to put some work into it and get it back on the road, because it definitely deserves it. So if you want to see more on this car, you want to see more on my A or my Corvette, you know, hit subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.